Okie dokie. Well, my apologies. I'm telling you, I'm going to take some of the heat off Patrick Spangler because a lot of this is on me not being able to run over and get these codes smoothly. I have the right code in, but by the time I guess I clicked the button, maybe I did it a little too early. But then I messed my count up tonight. We'll transfer this over to the Coast to Coast page. Patrick will be able to get it there, I think. But I'm going to have him put me back in charge of that. And I'll take some of the heat off those guys and be able to pounce in a time of need and redo these streams. I know enough of how to do that. And, well, I owe it to him, at least all the times I whine to Patrick. And, Patrick's allowed to have a life. And I'm not allowed to ruin it all the time. But we're live here for the ShaggyTV Pro Late Models Part 3 here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Like I say, we're not live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. That's my bad again with codes. But nothing I can really do here. They were out of practice time. I couldn't have them set up a new session. Wasn't going to make them do that here. Let's check out Trevor Gearix here in the 75. Trevor Giroux. Always looking good here, but that nickname will forever stick. The driver in the 75 as Gearix sends it into 1 and 2. Ooh, he may have got that wall a little bit. If he did, I'm not going to count here for the 75. Let's see here as he rolls out a 4. Is it going to stick? Will he get a time for the 75? We don't see one drop up on the board there, so lap number 1 didn't count, and that opens the door here for the 518 of 100 grand. Joseph Grandy. Can he get quicker here the second time around? The 518 purple sector 1. Not going to improve the lap time. Slower in sector 2, but still your quick time as the Ant-Man Anthony Morano parks it P2. The 32 drives it up over the apron there into the infield. Sam Bachman comes around. He parks it P6. On lap number 1, the 39 of Mike Brewer. He won your last race there in a big block modified. Going to be slower here this lap. Not going to improve. P8 for the 390 of Mike Brewer. 15 cars have put in a lap time. Clay Christopherson and Rylan Banks have not set foot on the track for qualifying, so they aren't here yet. Let's see if, looking over at Patrick Spangler to see if he had possibly answered me yet, but like I say, the man is busy. That's why we're gonna have him co-sign me on being in charge of broadcast nights, and I can even help him do the codes. The man's got 3 kids, possibly 4. I've got none. I'm a lazy POS, and I could do a little more to help him out. So let's take a look here at the starting grid for heat race number 1. Putt-Putt rounds out the field on the outside of row 3 to the inside, the 444 of Scott Rayone. Row 2 to the outside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy to the inside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Row 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside, the 213 of Michael Vitale to the inside, the 817 of Shane Billings. Well, a couple races here, I believe, with Shane in before. Maybe some other leagues, but kind of newer to me in here. And, Shane, gets to start on the inside of row number 1, heat race number 1. Pressure on, brother. Can he hold on to it? Can he bring home the checkered flag? Obviously, winner starts on the pole. Here for your feature, 100 grand with that quick time. Has to start on the outside of row number 2. There you see the 518 roll by. He is going to be hungry, but it is not easy to pass at this racetrack. And, a good qualifying effort really can kind of hurt you as I mess around with different cameras. Sorry. I just realized here, I'll give you the standings back. I was hogging them all to myself here as the Steve King Foundation pace truck rolls off through 3 and 4. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We've got 8 laps to play. Heat race number 1 is underway. Oh, Billings there tightens up in the center of the corner. Vitale trying to take that momentum on the outside, but Billings going to send it in deep. Slide job. Gets a little shot of medicine there in the rear end. 3 cars get slowed down, but Rayon and Grandy, they keep rolling. Billings knocked back to third there after the contact. Vitale not able to get on the brakes in time, and he goes from second to fourth in that 213, but the 518 looking like $1 million tonight, and we only call him 100 grand. May not be enough as Grandy rolls that top shelf through 3 and 4. We've got 5 laps to go. Scott Rayon, and he set his sights here on the 518. That's a big old carrot to grab. Joseph Grandy, one of the better late model drivers we have. You see, he gets quick time with a little bit of help, goes from 4th to 1st, and you don't really expect to be able to run him down, let alone keep up. And I think we're seeing that a little bit as Scott losing a little bit of the pace. The gap to 1.1 now, but the battle on for third. Michael Vitale trying to shop low there going down the front stretch, but had to fall in line there on the entry of 1. What's he do through 3 and 4? Going to go to the top shelf behind Billings. Billings, though, loses the rear end a little bit. Man, I thought Vitale there was going to send it in 1. Just doesn't have the work yet. We're running out of time. As 100 grand comes off a 4, white flag in the air. There's 1 lap to go. Joseph Grandy wins the pole, or gets the pole. Final time down the backstretch through 3 and 4. He's going to win heat race number 1 as the checkered flag flies. Looking for the perfect night here in the ShaggyTV Pro Late Models. Scott Rayon, Billings, Vitale, Kinsey, and Chris Stopperson, who did not grid. Maybe we'll see Putt race with us here in the feature, but never know with that guy. He could be into anything here. Let's take a look at the starting grid for heat race number 2. Row 3 to the outside, the 76 of Ryland Banks. To the inside, Blackjack John Tobias. Row 2 to the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. To the inside, the 39 of Dean Reynolds. Row number 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside, the 390 of Mike Brewer. And starting on the pole, Jason Coffey in the 146. I was trying to think of some nicknames, but, without really knowing anyone and what, they look like, possibly, maybe an ethnicity, I think you could probably think of what, I was going to say there, but never know, man. You don't want to think. I'm going to say, I like it black, but, I just will say it. Maybe he does like it black. I like his coffee. He likes his coffee black. I don't think that's too offensive. I think that's kind of funny. I'm a comedian at heart, but I sometimes gotta. We'll see how Blackie likes it tonight. Can he get it to the inside? Because it's pretty slick on the inside. It's darkening up on the bottom of the corners. You're going to want to get up so you can kind of see Mike's left tire's over it. Coffee now pretty much in it. You're not going to want to drive through that. That's why we saw Grandy beating down that top shelf. You can look at the shine. It's going to be fine. 8 laps to play at Weedsport Speedway. Heat race number 2 is underway. Oh, Coffee slides up in front of the 390 right away. Nowhere for the 32 to go. Anthony Morano gets bounced back to P5. And Blackjack on up to P2 as Coffee maybe felt a little bad about that one. Let him drive back on by. Well, maybe not. Maybe just jumped the cushion there in 3 and 4. Now he opened the door, but Mike Brewer to the bottom here in the 390. Can he work under the 21? They're beating and banging side by side. 6 laps to go here at Weedsport as Mike Brewer takes that 390 and looks to the bottom here. What's it going to look like coming off of Brewer? John Tobias groove in that top shelf. Got a lot of speed in the 21. That's going to be setup shot. Machine is not giving up. You see Mike Brewer going to send it in. Slide job. He gets across the net. Blackjack looked out there, gets in the front stretch wall, but all of a sudden, Anthony Morano back to P2. Man, my voice is cracking. Sometimes I get too excited. It is going away on me already. I've got to chill out a little bit here as the Ant-Man searches the bottom lane for grip here. Drives to the bottom through 3 and 4. Mike Brewer going to hold him off for now, but if you remember going back to that last race, Anthony Morano was in a small block. Mike Brewer in a big block, had the power advantage. May have been the difference they needed coming to the line. If Anthony can get a good run on the bottom here, he may be able to steal it. White flag in the air. Mike tries to hold on, jumps that cushion a little bit, gives room for Anthony to maybe make a send here. He's got to back up. Brewer's got to back off. Anthony gives it back. We got an FTM 1-2. Brewer, Morano, Reynolds, Tobias, Coffee, and Banks. So actually FTM 1-2-3 there with Dino sneaking in the top 3. But, you know, that's how you should see teammates race. Morano going in there, throwing a big haymaker. Knew it wasn't going to clear. Didn't want to catch him on the chin. And allows Brewer to get the spot back. That's good hard racing from teammates. That's what you want to see here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Take a look. Heat race number 3. Brady Plots, in the 196 rounds out the field. Row 2 to the outside, the Barber. Matt Barber in the 16. To the inside, the 007, Sam Bachman. Row 1 for your third and final heat race to the outside, the 075 of Trevor Giroux. And I didn't realize that Adam was going to race here tonight. Dude, that name snuck by me on qualifying even. Didn't notice that our broadcaster here, Adam Flieger, going to run some pro late models. And man, we got the 38 here starting on the pole. Pressure on here for Fleegs. Can he get it done? Just give me about half a lap here. I'm going to take a drink, try to soothe this throat really quick. I can't believe how fast it's gone away with me. I even had a bag of cough drops ready for tonight. Cross my heart, hope to die. If I'm lying here. And won't you know, they're in the kitchen. I can kind of see them, but I don't want to run away that quick. I'll run away at warm-ups. Here when we do the track ins and grab one of them. I just remembered that I had. They probably would have been the saver for me here tonight. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. We've got 8 laps to play. Heat race number 3 is underway. Flieger gets into that inside wall a little bit, allows the 075 of Giroux to just get an absolute huge lead as the Barber tries to trim his way into P2. But Flieger, he's got the car under control now. Holds on to P2, drives it in a little deep there, able to catch the rear end. But the Barber going down low, slide job. Flieger to the outside. He's going to have to give it up here. He's going to lose 2 as Bachman goes on by. Okay, I was right. It was Brody. So, yeah, it is Brody. Why did I correct myself there, Rylan? It's so crazy. It is Brody. It is an O. I can read. And, man, I don't know. Something got me there for a second. These eyes definitely ain't what they used to be. Here is Brody Plots there in the 196. Super Dirt Car on there, I believe. Yeah, he does. Super Dirt Car Series on the back end of that thing. Oh, his finger gets a little sideways in front of him, able to catch it. But a quick scare there for the 96 of Brody Plots. But keep rolling, as well as Trevor Giroux doing his best to keep rolling. Sam Bachman gets one more, moves on up to P2. The Barber trying to take one more peek back low. Can't do it. Almost gets into that inside wall. Really has to back out of the throttle there. And Now the white flag in the air this time. The 075 of Garrix looking good in the basement here. He is just gone. 1.6 seconds up the road. Final time through 3 and 4. And Garrix wins heat race number 3, followed by Bachman, Barber, Klotz, and Flieger. Now, we're going to stick around here. I'm going to grab a cough drop. But we'll be right back with the ShaggyTV Pro Late Model A-Main here after your warm-up. Stick around. Alrighty, we'll see what this cough drop can do. Let's let it work its menthol magic. Here's Matt Barber on the top of the charts so far here. Got a little over a minute left. So, on the racetrack. Yeah, he is. Let's do a little ride along here. Let's see how the quick driver's getting around the racetrack. Is he getting as close to the wall there as he can on the entrance? Maybe he would like to get even a little lower on the exit there, 1 and 2. Same with a little lower there on the entrance to 3. But other than that, man, looking good out of 4. See, does get a little lower there on exit. Does get lower there on entry. See, I know what I'm talking about. Now, the exit there, a little sloppy. Straightened it up a little too early. But, I mean, right now, Matt, he's feeling himself. He's got a quick race car. Looking good in that thing. So, let's see. This guy just absolutely destroyed his heat race here in the 75. Look, Trevor Giroux, he's looking pretty good right now, too. P4, running behind Blackjack there in the 21, John DeBias. We got Jason Coffey out here ripping the top in the 146. He's doing it his own way. Lots of guys on the bottom. He's going to play around with the top shelf here. Checkered flag flies on warm-ups, and we're going to get ready to go play here at Weedsport Speedway. 30 laps. Maybe 35, but I believe 30 laps here for our Pro Late Model feature. Brought to you by none other than ShaggyTV. Let's take a look here at our starting lineup. Running out the field, Ryland Banks in the 76, row 8 to the outside. The 051 of putt-putt, Clay Christopherson to the inside. My partner, in the 38, Adam Flieger. Row 7 to the outside, the 146 of Jason Coffey to the inside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Row 6 to the outside, the 196 of Brody Plotz to the inside, the 21 of Blackjack John Tobias. Row 5 to the outside, the 213 of Michael Vitale. To the inside, the 16 of the Barber, Matt Barber. Row 4 to the outside, the 79 of Dino Dean Reynolds. To the inside, the 817 of Shane Billings. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 007 Sam Bachman. To the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 2 to the outside, the 444 of Scott Rayone. To the inside, the Philly Flyer in the 075, Trevor Giroux. Row number 1 for your A main here for your pro late models at the Weedsport Speedway to the outside, the 390 of Mike Brewer, and starting on the pole, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. Let's see here. Let's see how it goes. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. We've got 30 laps to play in the clay of Weedsport Speedway. Your A main is underway. Joseph Grandy gets a run there on the bottom. Mike Brewer really wanted to take advantage of that outside starting spot. But Grandy maybe wants the basement there. Good run through 3 and 4. Shuts the door. He holds on to lead lap number 1. Oh, Vitale hard into the wall. He goes around. Caution number 1, lap number 2. Mission 22, 213. There's a hard meeting with the wall there in 1 and 2. I believe it started maybe with him and Billings. Take a look here as we go into the Chapman Racing drone camera. Yeah, I mean, he was there, but, you know, try to take a look here. I mean, he's got half the car there. I don't know if Shane knows, but he maybe should know. You know, that's tough. I mean, that one is tough. It's you got to try to make a spot there if you're Vitale. And, you know, if you're Billings, do you expect someone to be there? No, but there was. And, I mean, Vitale did already get into the wall, so before the contact. So, I mean, you got to put blame on both. You really do. Maybe not a move you make on lap number 1, but, I mean, you can't kick a guy for trying to go make a power move, you know, to get himself in position to bring home a checkered flag. I mean, that's what racing is about. You're not going to go out there and drive like a wimp. Pardon my French. You know, you expect these guys to go out there, want to get it, bang it down a little bit. Now, let's see here. Lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace truck, so we should be going back green this time. No putt-putt, no Rylan Banks. I see Rylan out there talking. We appreciate you at least sticking around, Ryan. I'm telling you, nobody is worse in these pro late models than me. Ask anyone here who races in coast to coast. Come out here and give them a little play as we're back underway in lap 4 here at the Weedsport Speedway. Actually, not lap 4. It'll be lap 3. Yeah, excuse me. We were on lap 2 when the caution came out. So lap 3, the Ant-Man getting a little nice to know you, or, you know, giving him a little welcome to FTM, even though Brewer's been there for a while. A little shot through 3 and 4. But we got another one sitting around backwards. That's the 444, Scott Rayone. Still sitting there on the racetrack. So when did this kick off here? I've got a couple crashed icons on this one, so got a feeling maybe it had already started in front of him, but we'll see. Yeah, so Vitale had come down off the wall after getting into the wall and just got Rayome in the right rear, sent him around, and that's going to do it there for Scott Rayome. For Michael Vitale, for sure. I don't know if Scott Rayome will go in there. Scotty will go in there and quick repair that thing or not. I don't know. No hustle out of that guy to get back out there, I don't think. Lights are still on the pace truck, though. Because we got some drama unfolding. Little rev action here. The 75. Couldn't tell who it was. It was him or Sam Bachman, but they're having some fun out there. You can hear him. Long way to go here. Still plenty of time to get it done. You're going to need a long green flag run, though, if drivers really want to get something done here. And that's easier said than done here at the Weedsport Speedway. So I'll have to see. Definitely a great racetrack, but it's a configuration that not a lot of drivers are used to here. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Lap 4 is underway. We're back under our third time. We've had a restart here. I was trying to think of and we're going to get another one. Oh, the 79 able to keep it going. Dino may have had some help here. Let's see here. Can we watch this real quick? See what happened to Dino, and then we'll go right back live. Yep, 3 wide, the 16 and the 17, and well, Dino paid the ultimate price for it. Battle heating up, though, up front. Giroux looking here, and man, Mike Brewer, he is swamped by his teammates in the matching cars. Brewer trying to make it work on the bottom. Anthony going to drive around the top shelf, and here comes Sam in the 007. Mike gets in the inside wall a little bit. Brewer going from third to fifth here in the last 2 laps. I have to try to shake it off and work it back together here as the 75 trying to reel in the 518 here. Last time by Randy, 0.02 of a second quicker than the 75. Let's see what it is this time. Going to be quicker once again here. Last time by 15:02 to a 15:07. Quickest man on the racetrack is the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. He ran up 14:88, quickest lap of the race. The 32, where did he come from? Grandy drives it into 10 laps in the books. Oh, it's Billings. You see, rolls up and over there. We caught it right as it happened. Shane Billings just drove it in a little deep, gets into the outside wall, and this is, this is what I make these cool cameras for. I get a big smile when they pay off at a time like this. And Billings just drives it in a little deep, clips the outside wall, tried to take out the camera. Up and over, up and over. Let's see, does he end? Does he end on the lid? Yeah, that's the tough one. That's when you got to tow back to pit road, and hopefully you can get that thing back out there in time. But odds are not looking very good here. Not near as good as they are for the 518. Joseph Grant, we got Trevor Giroux running around in P2. The quickest guy on the racetrack, Anthony Morano. We'll have to see if he can make a move, man. This is maybe what the driver of the 32 needed. He can put the work boots on, man, and go to work here. This could be his for the taking. We should have a single file restart, though. This is the 3rd time we've had a caution, so that will mean single file. Drivers were hoping for a double file there, but not going to get it. Lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace truck. We'll see him dive off this time, coming out of 4 and 100 grand. Looking to lead us back to the green flag one more time. Lap 19 is underway here at the Weedsport Speedway. Morano trying to take a peek there for P2. What can he do? Lots of grip down there if you get low enough. Oh! Giroux got to get on the binders, and I'll tell you what. Anthony knows there. He probably ran out of real estate. But if not there for this man getting on the binders, checking up. We've got 2 cars in the scrapyard, but instead they're still rolling around second and third. And, no shot at anybody in particular here, but this is why, let's see here. I think this is the caution flag, too. I've got a feeling. Yep. Doesn't like when cars sit up there on the top and pull out, so that's going to be the caution here. But maybe what Anthony, well, really what Trevor needed, he gets his spot back there in second, rightfully his. So let's go back here. Should have time to look at that move. So let's see it. Oh, I guess, Anthony maybe was holding it, and Trevor comes down a little bit. Okay, so I didn't even realize the contact there with Grandy, so that's what it was. And then he gets a shot there from Sam Bachman. So Sam looked to have a little damage on that front nose. Let's take a look at that. Going to affect the handling of that race car a little bit, I'd assume, but I mean, he's still out there driving. So not going to totally ruin his night, but I imagine it will, he's going to have to try to treat that thing a little different than he was before to get that same performance level out of it. He's going to have to try to gain in other areas of the track where he's going to lose now because of the effects of, possibly the handling in the center of the corner. But the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Lap 17 is underway. Our 5th restart of the evening. Sam going to that top shelf, and I think you're seeing exactly what I was talking about there. Mike Brewer already taking a peek underneath, as well as Anthony Morano here. Going to go right back to work on the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. Now he goes down, shuts the door, and goes back up top to follow the 518. 100 grand looking good here at the halfway point, 15 to go. Morano so close to that inside wall, man. He can reach out and taste it if he wanted to. Just get the tongue out on that thing. And, man, boy, oh boy, they are fighting for it. But you can see there, Anthony's got to get up against that outside wall on the entry to 1. If you can't mess up your corner entry, you really need to swoop down off. But we get a good run there in the middle of 1 and 2, but it's spoiled by one more caution flag here at the Weedsport Speedway. Adam Krieger involved. See if we can figure out what happened here to the driver of the not the 213. What was I going to say? The driver of the 38. So Dino comes up in front, no problem. Oh, a little net code, or he just got on the brakes. Maybe, just wasn't ready for it because, Dino cleared him and he would have had room to cut underneath. But maybe a little net code there, or he got on the brakes hard. Couldn't tell. And then a little shot there from the 196. Nothing he could do. That is going to be our caution here. My apologies, too, if you kind of hear the rattling of what you may think would be candy, but it is that call drop. And oh my gosh, if you go back to heat race number 2, my voice was going away. This has worked magic for me here. So just what I needed to stay in the game. Coach to keep me in, not pull me here in the late stages. And well, that is, I swore I muted my Facebook tab. My apologies. And Patrick Spangler. Glad you're having a good time, man. He's out hockey reffing. I'm getting my permissions back tomorrow. I knew Patrick would trust me. I got the league's best interest at heart here. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. We're back underway. There's 13 to play. Will we finish under green flag, or will we get a couple more? And we may have just saw the answer to that. We're going to get at least one more. Matt Barber caught in the accordion here. He goes around. I'm going to go in the aerial view here. You'll see, it doesn't necessarily start with him, but it finishes with him. Mike Brewer just clips that inside wall a little bit. So he gets into the back of the 390, then the 639 gets into the back of him. And nothing Barber could do there, just goes around. We saw some more commotion behind. Well, Scott Rayom gets up close and personal there with the 196. He was up underneath. Man, this is not an easy turn 1 and 2. It is getting the best of our drivers here this evening. Alrighty. Now, everyone out here, I do see all the FTM guys. They're even hanging out in this Discord. I'm going to take some liberties here with this, especially now Patrick gave me that broadcasting thing. They definitely love me. They like me. If you're running in the race here that I sponsor, if we're going to have a bunch of cautions, you're subjecting yourself for the chance to get pulled up here in the broadcast group the next time we go under caution. So if we get one more caution, we're going to be pulling somebody up here to help us pass the time a little bit. And odds are it's going to be a driver of FTM. You see Jason Coffey. He's in the Discord as well, but you can't blame him for this, and he doesn't know about, that I might do this. So FTM guys, they should know better. They're aware of my shenanigans by now. So you're going to give this to me, I'm going to do that to you. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. We've got 12 laps to go here in New York. We get through 1 and 2 fine this time. But up front, battle for P2. Anthony Morano finally completes it on the 75. And Garrett's got to go back to work here, try to find a way around the 32. But Anthony Morano, he's got those sights set on the 518. 10 laps to go. Can the GripHack.com 32 find a way around that 518? Is Joseph Randy trying to will that thing, trying to hold on? We've got 9 laps to go. And the Coast Sim Sports 518 leads the way, but you can see the 32 down there on the inside. Battle for the lead through 3 and 4. Anthony trying to search for grip. Can't find it, 8 to go. Randy trying to back that puppy down, trying to whoa her up. But man, Anthony, he let the horses out of the barn. We're going to get a little fender action. Side by side, Rubbin's racing. Oh, caution flag. Man, it gets spoiled here. One more caution flag. And oh boy, tough break there for the Ant-Man. He is gonna wish he had a chance to go at that one again. Let's see. I think this started a little earlier than that. So you'll see here, I'm assuming some contact here with the 117. That's what it looked like. Yeah, I would say so. Hard into that wall. Adam straightens it out. Let's see here. Leaders go by. May have thought he was going to get the caution, but didn't get it, and maybe doesn't know the right fronts broke there. Not really going to steer for him. you know, you don't want to really get in the way of the leader, so I think he kind of has to do what he has to do here. Try to get up off the racing surface, and when he does, that's what brings out the caution. And well, you know, I was threatening to pull them up, but I'm not gonna here. We're about to go back underway. Took us a little while to diagnose that. Grandy drops the hammer. We've got 7 laps to go. I have to see if Anthony can find a way back down there. Grandy left it open. It's gonna take a couple laps if the Ant-Man wants to get this done downstairs. Gonna need all the time, and he's got 6 laps to go. Joseph working that top side, Anthony working that bottom side. We've got a battle for the lead one more time. Anthony pulls even in the center of the corner. One more caution flag. And whoa, these boys are going to be ready to get out of here, I can tell you that. For, I believe we have another case of a car leaving the pit right there. See, we'll be able to tell if whenever the lights come on. Got a feeling this is it because I'm not getting a crash. Yep, that's when the lights come on. Pace car pulls off. Back under caution. Appreciate you definitely for sticking around this long. I am probably the most honest broadcaster you'll get. This has not been the most exciting show, so we definitely appreciate your support here. And you know, Weedsport, just one of those racetracks where, I mean, it's tricky, different corner entries. Guys really can drive this place so many different ways. I believe, what was it? If anybody has flow on that dirt thing they did, it was episode 2, maybe 3, I think. I believe it was Corey Day talking about how, you know, asphalt, you've got your preferred line. You really do. I mean, for the most part. You got a line that's going to rubber up. That's where you want to be. But dirt racing, there are 1,000 different ways to attack every single corner. And, you know, you really find this place magnifies those differences. And well, when you don't have to work on the car all week in the garage, that kind of affects the way you drive a little bit too. But the green flag waves, we're back underway. We've got 4 laps to play for the 518. Can he hold off the rest of the field here? Anthony Morano gonna give it all he can. But Joseph on that top side where he's comfortable. Lots of speed there for the 518 as he tries to open up the gap. Anthony works the bottom through 1 and 2. Really hit that thing there, man. It hits the inside wall, though, 2 and 3 and 4. And that allows Grandy to weave back some of that time. Anthony Morano tries to work his way, but he's just running out of time. As the white flag waves, Joseph Grandy qualified on the pole. One heat race number 1. Started on the pole for the feature. Has led the whole way. Final time through 3 and 4. Joseph Grandy brings home the checkered flag at the Weedsport Speedway. Anthony Morano P2, Giroux 3rd, Bachman 4th, and Mike Brewer rounds out the top 5. Grandy, Morano, Giroux. What a top 3 there. Good race. As Grandy parks it on the top of the hill. Oh, Anthony. I don't know if you're supposed to park there. He did. Let's go ahead. We've drug you guys around here long enough. Let's find the top three. See if we can bring them in for their interviews here. We'll bring up this guy here in the 075. Trevor, I'll tell you what, man, lots and lots of cautions here. So not easy for me to piece this race together. But the one move I do remember, and, well, if you end up being in this championship contention, how important was it there? You know, I see Anthony coming up a little bit. You're coming down a little bit, coming off of 4. Getting on the brakes there, man, right as the caution flag waved, because you could have took out 2 race cars there.
Yeah, you know what? It was just a racing deal. I mean, I thought I had a little bit of a gap on Grandy, and then I saw him getting sideways, so I got out of it, and car just did, you know the way these things are. You let off, and these things are just a little all over the place. So I ended up getting into Anthony, and then got on the brakes again, and then Sam got into me, so it was a little bit of a mess there. But yeah, kind of got saved by the caution there, and then Anthony ended up passing me anyways, and yeah, that's the way she goes. I mean, I'm sweating buckets, man. This track's a workout. It's tough to race here. Happy with a third though, especially here. I really don't run much here. I was kind of even debating on running tonight. I don't like this track at all, but we'll definitely take third.
Yeah, I'm in your camp. That's why I didn't run the big blocks with you guys tonight. I plan on doing that most of the season, but this just man, this place can be so frustrating. You know, I tried to talk about it a little bit, but I mean, you know the deal, Trevor. You do a little asphalt racing. You know, no matter where you go, there's normally that one preferred line. A couple different ways to attack it. But man, you come play in dirt racing, you can attack each corner 1,000 different ways here. And you know, a place like here, turn 1, that puts that under a magnifying glass. Is that what you think's so hard here, guys? Just different driving styles through 1 and 2.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you see a guy like Anthony. He's so good at you're carrying quite a bit of speed coming off of 4, and the guys like Anthony are just so good at getting bringing the car down and getting it to a point where he's able to run so close to that inside wall and not lose momentum coming off of 2. I mean, you saw it there a couple times where I think he was almost, I mean, dead even with Grandy there a couple times. But yeah, guys like that, they're, and then um, you got Joseph who was running middle top, and then I was kind of just trying to follow Anthony there. I cannot run the bottom like that, but like I said, he's just really good at bringing those RPMs down and keeping it in that tiny little line of moisture. And there's really not a lot of guys who can do that. I'm definitely not one of them. But great race all around. I mean, this track, I'll give it to Weedsport. This track is pretty damn racy. The only reason I don't like it is I can't figure it out. But yeah, other than that, man, this is I really don't mind being here. It's it showed tonight. There was definitely 2 lines that could work, and I'm not sure if anyone else is running too wide throughout the pack, but I know up front it was pretty fun.
No, yeah, definitely, man. You just you guys up front, you got that respect level for each other that's just a little different. You know what I mean? And you guys allow for that good 2 wide racing. And whenever you got the green flag runs, man, you guys were given a chance. You were having fun. Just sadly, not a lot of them tonight. But hey, you bring home a P3. That's a hell of a run for that 075. Who you want to thank, bud?
Yeah, man. I thought for a little bit I thought I had something for Grandy there, but yeah, the cautions. He was fast, man. There's no way. But yeah, good runs to those guys, Joseph, Anthony, Sam, Mike. Congrats to those guys on top 5s. Just gotta give a shout out to all my guys at Venom. I wish more of the guys would make it out, but I understand. Not everyone. With the nicer weather coming, it's guys are busy, and we're all adults. Don't always have time for a computer. So, but either way, shout out to those guys. That's my family there. I love those guys. Shout out
No
Big Tim
excuse
Racetrap.
unless they're golfing, Trevor. No excuse.
I like it. I like it. um, But yeah, shout out Big Tim Race Wraps. Shout out Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series. Shout out everyone at C2C who puts the stuff on. Anthony for doing the race control for us. He does a good job. Thank you, Shaggy, for putting this stuff on for us. I really appreciate it. You know, I love talking to you, and I just try and take pride in every time I talk to you. 'Cause you never know when's the last one. So thank you. Thanks everyone at C2C, my team, and shout out Top 5 here.
Man, you're scaring me with that last one talk. Unless you think maybe I'm going to make it to the big time, which would be pretty cool. But hey, congratulations, Trevor. Can't wait to talk to you again.
Thanks, brother.
Now let's go ahead. Let's bring up the guy who so close here, but just never really had the chances. Anthony, man, you know, you get the pass done for P2, caution flag flies. Got to give it back. You finally get P2 back on the next run. Get a run for P1. You're down low. Caution flag flies, man. Just how frustrating is it? I mean, you clearly had a quick race car, but just not able to put it together.
Yeah, it's I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay there, but there's just a lot of yellows. I know it's a tough track, and a lot of guys don't really run these a lot, so there's a lot of variables to it. So, I mean, the car felt good. I got to where I needed to get. Just those cautions killed me, man. I think me and Granny would probably had a pretty good race there with Sam and Trevor towing along and running with us there, but just cautions breed cautions, and then they just just breaks the whole momentum of the race. Kind of sucks, but we'll pick up the few spots from 5th, get 2nd, and keep plugging away.
Now, obviously, you know, this isn't a shot at you, Anthony, but you're clearly not Superman out there. And when you can get it to the bottom, you know, you're one of the best drivers on the bottom, and you can see that, hey, there's 2 lines. We can make this work. Does it make it all the more frustrating when you kind of see, now, you know, you've got to realize you've got a talent that the majority of people don't have. But does it frustrate you at all, maybe, you know, when other people can't hit it the way you can and you see a bunch of cautions? Like, how does it work for a guy of your skill?
It's mostly just patience, you know. I didn't learn how to do it overnight. I've been on, I started playing R Factor, I don't know, like 10 years ago with, it was like me, Clay, Kelly Wheeler, Sean Green was in there with us way back when, so there's still a few of us that played the game together 10 years ago, still in this league running together. And, Clay used to smoke me all the time, just running the bottom. And over the years, I just, I got to, become pretty good friends with Clay. And, over the years, I learned how to run the bottom. So it takes time to learn it. It's just, it can be frustrating, but it's part of the deal, just because you're good at it doesn't mean everyone is going to be good at it. Just like if I go to the top, I'm going to get run over. I can't run the top at most tracks we go to. It's like just a couple of them I'm good at, and most of them I feel like I'm in the way up there. So it's like a balancing act. You run where you're good. And sometimes someone's there. They might not be as good as you, but they're still plenty good enough. I mean, that's just how racing works.
Yeah, man, and you know the drill. Sometimes you can't bring home that checkered flag, and sadly, it's one of those nights. But you know the deal, man. You're a points racer. Another P2. That looks pretty dang good for the 32. So congratulations, Anthony. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys over there at FTM, Super Dirt Car, Swan Speed Shop, Hi Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Expert Installation, Castaway Flagstone, ShaggyTV. Shaggy, you for doing a broadcast and sponsoring the Pro Late models and never here at Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah. You know, this just dawned on me. Obviously, you got P2 in the big blocks. I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch the first one. How do we do in the first one? Was this a triple podium night for you?
No, I got caught up in someone else's mess in front of me in the 358s. Had to go to the back, and I still think I came back to 9th or 10th in that. So, top 10s across the board is always good. Podiums are always better, but 358 season has been a bit rocky so far. So, we'll keep plugging away, see if we can catch up there and see what happens.
Yeah, man. 3 top 10s and 2 of them being on the podium. That's a pretty good night, Anthony. Congratulations, bud. Can't wait to talk to you again, man.
All right, thanks a lot, Shaggy.
Anthony Morano bringing home P2, and now we're going to talk to the man who brought it home. Probably a little longer than he would have liked for it to take. But hey, Joe, sometimes you got to take what you're given. And tonight was a lot of caution flags. How do we deal with them out front?
Geez, honestly, I was about to give up myself, but
I know you were. I really know you were. I've raced with you before, and man, I've been that guy who, I'm telling you the honest to God's truth, has pulled off right after you because I'm like, man, he had the right idea. Next caution, I'm gone, and I do it too because it can wear on you. As much as it's nice being out front, it definitely isn't what we sign up for, and it's you got to kind of talk yourself into staying in a groove out there. It's not easy, man. How do you do it?
yeah, well, I'm horrible. It takes me a few laps to get into a groove, so usually if cautions like that, if I'm in the lead, I'll probably end up losing the lead within the first 3 laps. But I knew the top side in the end would be the quick way around. I was just kind of waiting for my chance to get up there, and once I noticed when Morano was catching me on the low side, it was time to move up there because he's way better than me running the low side. So
yeah, so obviously, I kind of understand what you're saying, but for the layman out there, you're basically saying you're kind of riding around the middle there, just saving a little tire until it's go time when you need to go, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Well, hey, man, you played the game right. Didn't have a lot of long green flag runs, but the short one there at the end, you had enough to hold on. You beat the top down, brought home another checkered flag, man. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Well, all the guys over at Coast to Coast Sim Sports, what you will say, Speed Shop, Catalytic Recovery, my girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast, and you as always for doing the broadcast, man. You always put on a good one.
I appreciate it, man. Hell of a run once again, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you this weekend. Go give those FTM guys some hell.
Thanks.
Joseph Grandy here, taking home the checkers here in New York after a long one here at the Weedsport Speedway, but we're going to wrap it up, call it quits. We'll get this over on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as quick as we can. But for now on, if we have any scheduling issues, like I say, I'm going to have a little power of that Coast to Coast YouTube now once again. So I'll be able to get myself back on and live. Maybe not right away, but we'll always get it up there. So thanks for dealing with the problem tonight and dealing with all my crap. But we thank you for tuning in here for the Coast to Coast Pro Late Models. And with that, we're going to sign off. I'm Zach Chapman with ShaggyTV.